Let's talk pistol primaries, shall we? Greetings audience, I'm Boomstick, and today we're going to be looking at the Venturi. Now the Venturi is a 3D printed blaster designed by Northeast Designs. You can find either the hardware kit or pre-built blasters on his website, which I'll have linked down in the description. Hardware goes for about $130 and the pre-built blasters go for about $260-ish. And they're only available when he's got them built, so you're going to want to keep an eye on his website for when they're available. Now, in case you're not already aware, the Venturi is a 3D printed blaster that uses Talon mags. Mine is currently set up for the angled mags. However, a straight mag also exists as well. However, I found for mags that go in the grip, the angle actually makes for a better grip than the straight mags. I went with the rear prime build just to keep it as compact as possible. However, there is a carbine build that they offer, which gives you a pump action grip and a stock. However, that makes it larger, and I was trying to keep this as compact as possible. Now, you may have heard people compare this to other sidearms in the market, like the Gecko and the Zinc and whatnot. However, I don't really think that's a fair comparison because I don't look at the Venturi as a sidearm at all. So it's not really a big sidearm as much as it is a small primary. For example, if you compare it to the Talon Claw, it's a little shorter than the Talon Claw, or the FTEC, which with the stock fully compressed, it's about the same size. However, I don't think I'd ever run the FTEC without the stock deployed. So keep that in mind when you're considering the Venturi. Can you run it as a sidearm? Sure, you can run anything as a sidearm if you really wanted to. I've run a Spring Thunder as a sidearm because I could. But I think the real thing here is that this is a primary class blaster. Both the printing and the build process were pretty straightforward as long as you make sure you're following the instructions properly. I had one issue that ended up being my fault because I was printing at the incorrect orientation, so the actuator kept breaking on me. Assembly and disassembly are both fairly simple, and as you can see, it is using a turnaround just like the Lynx and the Gecko and a bunch of other blasters coming out right now. Here we have the plunger with the spring, along with a spring spacer hidden right in here, right before the catch. Now the catch, you really want to make sure that's lubricated really well. That ended up giving me a lot of problems because it wasn't lubricated enough. But once I went in, gave it enough lubricant, it worked beautifully. Definitely make sure you are reading all the instructions. That is very important. One of the things I really love about building the Venturi, which I really want to see more people use, is the brass inserts that get heat sunk into the plastic itself. It makes the build so much better, and it takes no time at all to just grab your soldering iron and sink those brass inserts into the plastic. It is my favorite way to build a blaster. And as you can clearly see, the Venturi comes with these very beautiful metal plates that go on the side that are all machined by Northeast Design. It's real impressive. Now, one of the cons of that is the fact that you are stuck with the silver unless you want to like get some metal paint or something or buff them and make them real shiny. But that is a little bit of work you have to put into it other than where you could just print side plates. However, the durability that these metal plates give you, I think is well worth having that extra bit of silver. I think that's enough blabbing. Let's go take this outside and take some shots, shall we? Now, as you can see, the Venturi primes and fires very smoothly. The only issue I ran into was when I would prime forward as I was holding down the trigger, the actuator would get stuck behind the whole catch mechanism. At that point, I just had to prime it back and push it forward again. That way the actuator would be out of the way. With the included spring and spacer, I was getting a nice 225 to 230 FPS, which I really liked that. Another thing to mention is just how smooth the reloading is with the Venturi. The mags gravity drop nicely, and inserting a new mag is easy as pie. If you look closely, you'll notice that I actually had the mag release on backwards. However, I actually found that I preferred it being that way. So for my final thoughts, I really think the only con of the Venturi is it does have a very large grip. Obviously, any blaster that has a mag and grip style, it's gonna have a large grip. That's just the nature of having the mag and the grip. So, do I think you need to be 6 feet tall like some people are saying? No. I'm 5'10", which is close to 6 foot, and this is not uncomfortable. It's big, it's not uncomfortable. I don't have the largest hands, but it's hard to say. It's very subjective. If you know somebody that has a Venturi, definitely try to see if they'll let you hold it and see how it feels. But for me personally, I think this is perfectly acceptable for a grip. Big, but acceptable. And that's really the only con I can think of with the Venturi, because there are options out there for pretty much any build you want to do with it, between getting the carbine kit, which gives you a pump action and a stock, or if you want to do what I did and keep it as compact as possible and just go with the T-pull. I think that this is my favorite compact primary. The only thing that I think comes close to this is the Lynx, which is also another amazing blaster, but I'd honestly choose the Venturi over the Lynx. That's just my personal opinion, and again, the grip being what it is, take that with a grain of salt. But overall, I really love the Venturi, and I cannot wait to get this out on the field. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to help support the channel, absolutely check out my Teespring or join my Patreon and be one of these lovely people here, who I very much appreciate. If you don't want to do any of those, you can also help out the channel by hitting the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the Venturi and what you'd like to see more from this channel in the future. And if you want to see more from myself and those around me, absolutely hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Boomstick out.